the Friday Information Overload Hour as we're approaching Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. John Harper with you, along with my co-host, colleague, and good friend.
Well, I'm Joe Votro, and I'm really looking very much forward to the coming holidays. I really think that I love Christmas. I really do. My boat used to be called the Christmas Tide. So,
really?
Yeah, and no, I just really love Christmas. Always have since I was a kid. I was very lucky to have some very, very wonderful family members, and it was a time for gathering and getting together and doing wonderful things together. And so, the stockings were hung. There was a great anticipation as usual. And,
that's right.
That's the type of thing that I guess we all kind of enjoy in one way or another, and as far as I'm concerned, that's the best part of Christmas. So,
yeah, it really is, and everybody looks forward to the gifts and things. But for me personally, it's the enjoyment of family and friends, many of which perhaps you haven't heard from in years, and it's always good either getting together or at least talking to them on the phone. That, to me, is the important part of Christmas, and just reuniting, so to speak, the family and the kinship, and I think that's very important.
Well, I agree with you, John. I think that's very, very important for all of us, and I'm really hopeful that everyone here is going to have a very happy and a very Merry Christmas. And to me, I mean, it's the holiday of the year, and New Year's is always a good one, which follows closely thereafter. But there's a lot of dispute about when this thing was happening here. I have the cat running across my board at the moment. So,
yeah. Did she hit that?
That's what she hit. It was an editorial comment. I've got my hand over the record button, so you couldn't do that.
Funny.
But well, whatever. We got to do what we got to do, John. Hey, we have this special edition today of the Information Overload Hour, so things might be a little jumbled here. But the reason we have this special edition is that our good friend Joe Steckler, the founder of Helping Seniors of Brevard, thought he was going to a board meeting yesterday. And that's what, he thought it was going to be a regular board meeting. He's going to do his thing. But actually, you see, the day before, Joe turned 90. 90, folks. You wouldn't
turned
know
90 this week,
yeah,
right? Joe is looking great. I was very impressed and very pleased to see that Joe is still active, going strong. He works every day at doing something with Helping Seniors of Brevard. I'm not sure if he puts in a full 8 hours or something like that, but nonetheless.
Probably his usual 12, John.
Well, yeah, you're right. But Joe is somebody to really be admired, and his stamina, his work ethic are items that a lot of people don't have. And a lot of people really look at Joe as a kind of a Superman in the way he conducts his life and the organization of Helping Seniors of Brevard. And as Jim Votro just started to mention here a moment ago, Joe was supposed to be coming to a board of directors meeting yesterday for Helping Seniors of Brevard, and it wasn't exactly a board of directors meeting, as he quickly found out when he entered the conference room area. It was something totally different. And Jim, if we're ready to go on that, we had Vice Mayor Yvonne Minus, who gave a proclamation about Joe Steckler, and it became Joe Steckler, and he was the man of the day here in Brevard County, and the Melbourne commissioners gave a proclamation indicating that Joe Steckler was the official person of the day, and that was nice and very surprising to Joe. But there was even more that was in store for Joe, as he quickly found out at the board of directors meeting, which wasn't a board of directors meeting. It was quite a celebration. And if we're ready with that audio, Jim,
we are. This is what Joe found when he got there.
Joe Steckler, a retired Navy commander, became a fierce advocate for seniors upon his retirement and founded the Brevard Alzheimer's Association Foundation and Joe's Club, adult daycare centers in the 1990s. Later, Helping Seniors of Brevard, a nonprofit organization in Brevard County, was founded by Joe Steckler in 2011 in order to uniform, educate, and connect seniors and their families to resources available within Brevard County. Mr. Steckler has been recognized throughout Brevard County as a vital force for advocacy of seniors throughout extensive media work in print and on television and on the radio. In honor of Mr. Steckler, Helping Seniors of Brevard intends to rename its resource center to Joe's Senior Resource Center of Brevard. Therefore, on this day, Mr. Steckler is hereby named Citizen of the Day in celebration of his 90th birthday. May his day be filled with warmth and happiness as he celebrates 90 years of memories. Witness my signature and the seal of the city of Melbourne, Florida, this 21st day of December 2023. Paul Affrey, Mayor. Yvonne Minus, Vice Mayor. Congratulations, Sam.
John Harper with you here on the Friday Information Overload Hour. We are at the Joe's Senior Resource Center of Brevard, and we're also joined by the Executive Director of Helping Seniors of Brevard and the host every week of the Helping Seniors of Brevard show, none other than Carrie Fink. Carrie, thanks for being with us.
Oh, what a pleasure to be here.
Carrie, here at the Joe's Senior Resource Center of Brevard, give us an idea of what the Resource Center is all about.
You know, this is a place, Helping Seniors has always been about connecting seniors to information and resources that help them. This is that on steroids, right? Because now we have 10 partners in the Resource Center who are businesses that are like-minded with helping seniors, who are really focused on the welfare and good care, good assistance, good help, good solutions for seniors and their families that love and care for them. And so here at the Senior Resource Center, you know, I'm really excited about everything coming up next year because we've already embarked on a program of educational events and different things that are happening. Some of them are just for sheer fun, getting people in the community together and enjoying just the great fellowship that can happen here at the Senior Resource Center here in Melbourne. But then also some educational things, because as you know, the serious part of what we do, John Harper, is we talk about the fact that people really do need to get an aging plan together. And so the classes and things that we're doing are geared towards helping people do just that.
And that's so important, getting those classes together as we enter the new year, Carrie Fink. And I think that will really be serving the public well as they find out about the different things that are going to be offered here throughout the year and only expanding even further than where we're at now. We've come a long way.
Yeah, it really has. And I wanted to, if it's okay, give a date out, January 25th. That's the fourth Thursday in January. And in fact, John, on the fourth Thursday morning, if people will mark this down on their calendars, every month we're going to do a health and wellness event that's happening right here at the Senior Resource Center, Brevard. So on Thursday, January the 25th, 11 a.m. to 12:30, our friends from Care Plus are going to have a great presentation called Aging Healthy, which is something that I would think we all aspire to do, right? And then we're also going to have a talk from Deidre Schubert, who is known for her work with the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation. She's going to give a talk about some of the advances. She's with an organization called MIM Research, and they're like on the front lines of all this with Alzheimer and dementia. They're doing clinical trials, and there's really some hope that's out there now with all this. She's going to share about that. And then we have the folks coming in who do Dementia Live, which is the best way to describe it is a simulation to help those of us that are encountering folks with dementia or memory, cognitive challenges to understand what these people are having to go through. And it's a fantastic experience, whether you participate in it interactively, which you're welcome to do, or you're simply watching the people that are attending the event go through it. Everybody walks away with a whole new level of understanding for that. So that's what's happening in January in the series, but it's going to happen fourth Thursday of each month, just like that, right here at the center.
Sounds exciting. And Carrie Fink, in closing, tell us where the center is located and how listeners can get in touch.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking that. We're at 1344 South Apollo Boulevard. I'm going to say that again so everybody has a chance to grab a pencil, jot it down. 1344 South Apollo Boulevard. It's right here in Melbourne, Florida. We are on the medical campus right next to the hospital, just a couple of blocks over, in a beautiful building called the Omni Healthcare Building. It's right there on the side of the building. You come up to the second floor. You can't miss us there. That's where it happens. If you have questions, want to know more, just give us a call. That number is area code 321-473-7770.
Carrie Fink, Executive Director of Helping Seniors of Brevard, and the host each week of Helping Seniors of Brevard on the radio on 90.3 FM. Thanks for being with us, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. You as well. Merry Christmas.
John Harper with you here at Joe's Senior Resource Center in Brevard County at the Helping Seniors of Brevard event that's taking place celebrating Joe's 90th birthday and also the naming of Joe's Senior Resource Center. And an individual who was very responsible for getting today to be the Joe Steckler Day, and also the official name of the Resource Center as well, is Yvonne Minus. Yvonne is the Vice Mayor of Melbourne. And Yvonne, thanks for being with us. And this is so important, having this center named in honor of Joe Steckler, this being his 90th birthday as well. Why don't you give us an insight as to how all of that came about?
Right. Thank you for the invitation. It's indeed an honor for me to be here and to help observe Joe Steckler Day. That became available when Miss Carrie Fink, who's also on the board here at Helping Seniors of Brevard, we were at another luncheon, and Mr. Carey was talking about celebrating Mr. Steckler's 90th birthday. Said he's 89 now, but he'll be 90 in a few days. And so listening to that, being the vice mayor of the city of Melbourne, and I said, well, we can do something for Mr. Steckler to recognize him on his special day. And so that is how that became into fruition. And it was definitely a pleasure for me, to get this implemented and signed by our mayor, Paul Alfrey.
Well, it's gratifying to know that you took the lead, you took the steps necessary to make this Joe Steckler Day, and also the naming of this center, Joe's Senior Resource, here at Helping Seniors of Brevard. And we can't thank you enough, Vice Mayor, for helping us with Helping Seniors of Brevard move even further in our quest to becoming the best. And we just can't thank you enough. And we appreciate your being here with us.
Well, and I thank you. Like I said, it is my honor to do that. And Mr. Steckler is very deserving. And I'm very happy that the city of Melbourne thought it not robbery to recognize him on his 90th day for Joe Steckler Day.
And we can't thank you enough as well. So we appreciate that. And thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
John Harper with you, and attorney Bill Johnson, a good friend of ours who you've heard on the radio for many years on our Helping Seniors of Brevard show, is with us. And Bill, kind of a special day here today. It's the 90th birthday of Joe Steckler, and also the Senior Resource Center has a new name. It's the Joe Steckler Senior Resource Center. So what are some of your thoughts about Joe turning 90, the things that he's been able to do, and the naming of the center?
Well, if you know anything about Joe, first, you have to know that he's a veteran. He's a Naval Academy graduate. So first part of his life was probably quite interesting.
Yeah. Full speed ahead.
Yeah, full speed ahead. And then, and then to retire and have this whole other career after you retire of community service and founding the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation, and then helping seniors of Brevard. And getting those organizations both off the ground. Both organizations are direct action groups. So it's not like if you contribute to them, the money goes off to California. It stays right here in Brevard, and it is hands-on help for people.
Joe Steckler, certainly a visionary. He's done some great things, as you just mentioned here, Bill. And we're looking forward to seeing what he has behind the curtain for the next big surprise coming up here for the Senior Resource Center and also Helping Seniors of Brevard.
Yeah.
And Bill,
I can't wait to see what he does for the next 50 years.
Yes. Bill, you've been with us many times. We only have about a minute left, but many times on the radio for almost 2 decades now, I guess. And what's one thing that you could tell our listeners they should look out for when they're looking for an elder attorney?
Well, if you look at their credentials, see if they're board certified, because that means they're an expert in the field. And beyond that, there are a lot of reviews these days. People can go online, get plenty of reviews. You can go on the Florida Bar's website and look them up and see if there's been any disciplinary proceedings. So those kinds of things, and generally good word of mouth. If they have good word of mouth, that's usually a pretty good indication that they're legit.
Bill Johnson, been with us many years. As I said, Bill is the best in the business here in Brevard County, the state of Florida, and as far as I'm concerned, in the nation. Thanks as always, Bill, for being with us.
Thank you, John.
Okay. Here at the Joe's Senior Resource Center of Brevard, Dr. Lee Sheldon is with us, a good friend of ours on the radio for many years. Lee, how far back do we go?
John, I go back a long way. When Joe, first of all, I was part of Helping Seniors of Brevard from the moment it started, as you were.
Yeah.
And so, but before that, Joe and I met through other things, and I had a TV show at that time, and at that time I was working for Brevard Alzheimer's, and he gives me credit as being the person who got him into media. So we did a TV show together at that time. But he's been a resource for me for a long time. Yes. Well, this is years. This goes back into the 90s.
And going way back to that TV show that you did with Joe, that was very entertaining, very informative, and it was really pressing new ground that doctors had not gone into before.
We had a good time.
Yeah,
we had a plastic surgeon. Dr. Snyder was there. I remember seeing you. Remember, you and I were together.
Yes,
I think you weren't on my show. You were on the show after our show.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
And I called you Jim rather than John.
I remember that now.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
But Dr. Dr. Lee, seriously, Dr. Lee Sheldon with us. And Lee, Joe's 90th birthday today, very special, obviously, with being able to celebrate that with him. A visionary on everything that he has done over the years. What are some of your thoughts about what Joe has been doing and the success that he's enjoyed?
Well, first of all, understand that Joe retired and he worked in the Brevard Alzheimer's Association for a number of years. He ran that. And then he decided that he needed to broaden out. And so we've got somebody who retired from the Navy, had already done, I don't know, it's got to be at least 10 years of work through Alzheimer's. And now he says, no, we need more. And so he starts an organization from scratch. And that was 2011. So what's that? That's 12 years ago, a little bit closer to 13 years ago. 13. And so he does that. And I'm just amazed how you, after your career is over, you say, all right, I see a purpose. And what Joe does is that he finds individuals and he takes advantage of those individuals. And then he finds those individuals who know other individuals. And as importantly, he finds businesses that are ethical and so that he can refer seniors to them. And he gradually builds the network a bit at a time to the point where we have this car raffle every year at the Muscle Car Museum, and we had to turn people away. I mean, or not to turn people away, but it was very difficult for them to get in.
That was amazing, seeing the traffic backed up and people trying to get in and had to park over in the Kennel Club parking lot, and it was kind of rewarding to see, also kind of frustrating that we couldn't get everybody in at the same time. But it was a great event, as you said, Dr. Lee Sheldon. What you see, as you said, you were from day one on helping seniors of Brevard. I remember you and I at that very first board meeting. Yeah. And what do you see coming up in the future here? What would you like to see with helping seniors of Brevard?
I think there are a number of things that we need to look at. Number one, seniors at one time were in the best position financially. Now as seniors are getting older and we have the younger generations coming in, it's not quite the same. And so there has to be more services available for seniors that they can take advantage of. I'm not saying that free services are necessary, but at least there has to be cost-effective services that are there and that people can take advantage of. Second is to expand the network. The network itself attracted just a few businesses. I think when we started, there were only 6 or 8 of us, and I'm proud to be one of those.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how many there is, 30, 40, 50, something like that. But as more and more people come to Brevard County and as more and more people age, there are more services that they're going to need. And so we need more people in the network. Guys like me in their 70s will need to be replaced with other people, other dentists, for example, who can provide services and provide resources for the community. I think we're in an ideal position in Brevard County. It's a great place to live. And we're going to attract and are attracting more and more people here. And with that, helping seniors in Brevard is going to become more and more important for those seniors who choose to move here.
And Dr. Lee Sheldon, you've had a lot to do with that as far as just contributing so much to the community. And we can't thank you enough. And also thank you for being a good friend over the decades.
Thanks, John. It's great to be with you.
Okay. We're at Joe's Senior Resource Center helping seniors of Brevard, and Chris Morris has been here at our event as well. Chris is on the board of directors of Helping Seniors of Brevard. And Chris, this is a special day today because it's Joe Steckler Day, number one, and number two, it's his 90th birthday. And Joe is the founder of Helping Seniors of Brevard. Chris, what are some of your thoughts about the organization? You've been here with us now on the board for a while. The building of the Joe's Senior Resource Center. What are some of your thoughts?
Well, I can't believe how far we've come in the last 3 or 4 years. I'm overlooking now about 50 to 60 people here at Joe Senior Resource Center in Melbourne. It's a wonderful turnout. Joe just turned 90. And as you know, he started the Joe's Alzheimer's program way back in, I guess,
1992.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then he transferred over or moved over to 2011 for the Helping Seniors of Brevard Foundation. So we're really proud to be part of the organization. I know you two guys really support us. I know the radio station does. So it's been so much fun working with all the Helping Seniors and raising money for the Helping Seniors of Brevard Foundation by offering our special cruises every year.
Well, while we're talking about those special cruises, Chris Morris, a member of the board at Helping Seniors of Brevard, and also our cruise specialist. Chris, what's coming up in the line of cruises that people can participate in?
We have a fantastic cruise in June, right in the beginning of June, guys. From the 9th to the 16th of June, we're offering the first kids vacation, graduation present. All the families will get together, like the grandfathers and grandmothers and the kids and their kids. It's a multi-generational cruise, and we'll be traveling out of Port Canaveral, like we always do. And MSC has offered to donate back to the Helping Seniors of Brevard Foundation a lot of money to support Helping Seniors. So it's a wonderful time to take a cruise with your family. We have single seniors that come aboard that meet other seniors on the cruise that they can say hi to and have lunch with and have dinner with. Because sometimes if you meet somebody on a cruise ship across the room, they might be from California or Los Angeles or someplace else, and you never can see them again. But on the Helping Seniors cruise, we can meet, greet, and share lunch with them the following week when we get off the ship.
And have a great time.
Have a wonderful time.
Chris Morris, you've done a great job here with Helping Seniors of Brevard, not only on the board, but putting these very special cruises together, and we can't thank you enough. A very special day, Joe Steckler Day, Joe's 90th birthday, and the naming of Joe's Senior Resource Center. So kind of a trifecta, and you can't go wrong with that because we're winning. So Chris Morris, thanks for being with us. By the way, if people want to participate and learn more about the upcoming cruises, how do they get in touch?
If you please give me a call at 818-430-1480 and let me know that you heard us on the radio. We'd love to know that. And let's go cruising, have a great time, and raise some money for the new Joe Senior Center Resource Center in Melbourne, Florida.
Chris Morris, thanks so much for being with us here on the Talk to Me Network and the Friday Information Overload Hour. It's a special edition of Helping Seniors of Brevard, and John Harper with you. Chef Julian Debris is with us. You hear Julian all the time on our program. And Julian, just like Santa and his helpers, you're very busy right now. It's a busy time of the season for you. And what's in store for Christmas, and then starting to look ahead into the new year?
Well, for Christmas, we've just been helping people make their holidays special. We've been doing everything to roasted turkeys and all of the sides and desserts for people's holidays. And I would just like to say a special thank you to the Helping Seniors of Brevard. We are over here celebrating Joe Steckler's birthday today, and we're looking forward to an amazing 2024 New Year. And we're going to be talking about some amazing New Year's holiday treats.
We can't wait, Julian. We're looking forward to that. And Merry Christmas to you and yours, and we'll see you on the radio.
Very, very Merry Christmas to you guys as well. Thank you.
On that, as we kind of get that name ingrained in our mind, John Harper with you here at the Joe Resource Center of Brevard County. Just named that, amply so, here for the Helping Seniors of Brevard organization. Jennifer Barton is with us. Jennifer, one of the best loved friends of Helping Seniors of Brevard. Jennifer and I go way back in this organization. Jennifer is a board member, also owns her own company called Helping Seniors, correct?
Yes, seniors helping seniors.
And Jennifer, this is very special to be here today with Joe Steckler. It's his 90th birthday. Very, very impressive. And a new name for the Resource Center. It's the Joe's Senior Resource Center. So we're all set to go on that as we kind of get that name ingrained in our minds. But Jennifer Barton, some of your thoughts about what Joe Steckler has done in his 90 years, this being his 90th birthday, and also the Joe's Resource Center of Brevard here for helping seniors of Brevard.
This has been so much fun today. Getting to be one of the minions that helped to get it together. And kind of sneak around. So happy that he was actually surprised, that we really did surprise him for his birthday today. And I was trying really hard not to be noticed when they were dedicating the center to him, when Yvonne got up and did the proclamation for Joe's Day. Today is Joe's Day. I got very teary-eyed. I'm going to get teary-eyed just talking about it. He is such an amazing man. And knowing him over the years, he's got such a servant's heart, and he's so passionate about helping people. What an honor, to be here today and to honor him. And he's kind of like my dad. You can't say no to him. He just he's a power to be reckoned with. And so I really did. I got very choked up. I just love him to death, and I'm so proud to be a part of this organization and to see where we were when we started.
Yes.
and now where we are today with the Senior Resource Center. Now Joe's
Amazing.
Senior, it really is.
It's been quite a ride. And Jennifer, I think you kind of said it all when you said Joe and the passion that he has for this organization and for helping people in general, no matter who they are, where they are. He's just got that in him to extend a hand to help people out, and now he's doing it through the Senior Resource Center of Brevard. I was almost going to call it Senior, but Joe's Senior Resource Center, and it's a special day, and special being here with you, Jennifer Barton. Thanks for taking a couple of minutes to talk to us, and we appreciate all the efforts that you do as well for helping seniors of Brevard.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here.
It's a trifecta of positive events this Friday here in Brevard County in Melbourne. It is number one, Joe Steckler's 90th birthday, something that we're very happy and proud about. Number two, a new name for the Brevard Helping Seniors Resource Center. It's now Joe's Helping Resource Center. And number three, it's Joe Steckler Day here in Melbourne. And Joe, we're honored and delighted to be with you here on your birthday here in the new center that has been named after you. That's very exciting as well. Give us quickly some of your thoughts about where things have come with helping seniors of Brevard and what you see now in the future.
I've seen so many changes in the time that Terry and I have been there since 1988, and I've seen county commissioners that were very attuned to and very well informed about the needs of seniors and supported the needs of seniors to a board of county commissioners are completely untuned with the senior needs, and they don't seem to be willing to recognize that seniors need to be supported. If you're going to promote seniors coming to Brevard County, then at least have programs or ways to inform the seniors about the programs that are already established here that can help people. And this is the biggest failing I see in Brevard County with helping seniors. Seniors just simply don't know about all the good things that are already here in place to to help them age with dignity, and that's a big problem.
Joe Steckler, you've been talking about this and have been fighting that battle for years, the many years that I've known you. Do you have a sense that there is more awareness now of needing to help seniors, and are people willing to do that?
I sense that there is an increase in the way to inform people about what's available. I guess get a good example. There's a publisher named John Frederickson, and John has a magazine called Senior Scene. And that magazine is dedicated to promoting the people of Brevard County all the things that are available to seniors, from the writing of individual articles to the carrying of the monthly newsletter, the Senior Scene program itself, and what's going on now with the new center. It features a radio show. It features all the television shows that have been done over the years, and there are over almost 500 television shows that are archived on the Space Coast government television channel, and their shows are played 3 times a day, 5 days a week. But if people don't know that this is happening, what good is it? I mean, you can have a few limited number of people that will be aware and be able to help people, but my goodness, if you got the programs that help people, why not concentrate on ways to inform the majority of the public? And with the number of people in Brevard County, that's the big thing too, John. The number of people has increased, I think, roughly around 300,000 when I first came here, and I don't even know what the numbers are now in Brevard County, but it's about close to 3 times the number of people when I first came here. Tremendous growth, and all along the tourism bureau has promoted Brevard County to a wide range of people, to include a large number of senior citizens coming down from up north.
Joe Steckler, your 90th birthday, and as I said at the outset, I'm very honored to be here with you celebrating that birthday. Also celebrating your name going up on the sign as far as Joe's Senior Resource Center, and also Joe Steckler Day today. It's kind of special. We like that, so that's why I said a trifecta. And of course, above everything else, the vision that you had over 13 years ago to get helping seniors of Brevard underway and grow to the organization that it is today, with your help, your encouragement, your vision, and it's become very, very special. So we thank you, Joe Steckler, and it's an honor to be here with you, and thank you again for everything you've done and that you'll be doing in the future.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. I just want to thank all the people that will be listening to this wherever you're hearing. If you don't want, if you need help, call us at the center. And that phone number is 321-473-7770. I don't forget it.
Joe Steckler, by the way, Joe is sitting here in his Navy t-shirt or sweatshirt, and very proud of his years in the Navy, and that's a whole show in itself that we'll do some other time. But thanks again, Joe, and we appreciate it. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, John, and thank you very, very much.
Very special day on this Friday. Helping Seniors of Brevard in Brevard County is celebrating Joe Steckler's 90th birthday. We're thrilled about that. We're thrilled about the fact that the Senior Resource Center has officially been renamed to Joe's Senior Resource Center, and also the fact that it's officially today Joe Steckler Day. So as I've been saying this afternoon, we've got a trifecta of events that been taking place. But someone that we wanted to talk to, an unsung hero here on Joe Steckler Day, is Terry Steckler, a young lady who has stood by Joe Steckler for how many years now?
52 years.
52 years. And Terry started.
I was a baby.
You were a baby. And but at the same time, you've been through an awful lot, and you have come through with great dignity, and you're just a beautiful person to know and be involved with. And with your husband celebrating his 90th birthday, and the Resource Center having his name on it, and this being Joe Steckler Day in Melbourne, what are some of your thoughts about this particular day?
Oh, it's overwhelming. I think both of us are going to be talking about this with each other and with all the kids.
That's certainly with Christmas Day coming up soon. Certainly, they'll give you a lot of things to talk about. And I know over the years you have stood by Joe and you've helped him every step of the way. You've been the silent, unsung hero in the background. And we, not only the organization but the community, Terry Steckler, can't thank you enough. And I think we should get a proclamation for Terry Steckler Day as well.
You're so kind. Thank you very much. I just tag along. Enjoy.
And Terry, you and I used to have a good saying when we would be leaving the radio station. Do you remember what that was that we would always say?
I'm not sure, but
about if you get in trouble, give me a call. And
don't get in trouble unless you call me first.
Yeah,
and we'll go together.
I like that. Terry Steckler, you are amazing. You're brilliant, and we thank you for being with us here on the Information Overload Hour. Thanks, Terry Steckler.
Thank you so much, John.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. 24 is going to be a better year.
And a healthy one.
There, thank you.
Wow, I'll tell you, John, that was quite an event yesterday. It really and truly
It was. Yeah, it really was, and people really enjoyed it, and I think people were very honored to be there in celebration with Joe Steckler, and we'll add Terry Steckler to that as well.
Oh, definitely. But she's a very important part. She's the woman behind the scenes. She's the one that keeps Joe moving and keeps Joe doing all kinds of stuff. I used to sit there, and I always said to Terry when we first met her, which is several years ago, that she was just sort of, she was on her way to sainthood, so she was only beatified. Yesterday, I told her she's definitely gone to sainthood because she is really the power behind the power, and that's an extremely important thing. I think it's really, really great. They are a wonderful family, and they have many children, and Joe spent
and grandchildren too.
Yeah, right, and grandchildren. They talk about his Navy career. See, I don't think a lot of people realize this, but Joe was in the Navy for 38 years, and then after he came out of the Navy, he decided to spend another 38 or 48 or whatever God gives him in public service, and that's what he has been doing. And that's why it was Joe Steckler Day. That's why there are Joe's Clubs. That's why there's Joe's Senior Resource Center of Brevard. And I think that's
right.
Just incredible. Hey, John, it's 49 minutes, almost 50 minutes into our show, and I'm glad that we were able to spend quite a bit of that talking to Joe Steckler, talking to other people who were at the event yesterday, which was very well attended, by the way. Kind of a wonderful event. As actually lots of cake and other things, but it was a really great happy birthday for Joe because
it was well done, well put together. Jennifer Barton had a lot to do with that. Nancy Deerdorf as well, and they did a good job. It was well orchestrated.
Yeah, exactly, and it was something to behold, really, because it's always good to see the community recognizing all the good work that this guy has done. This guy, meaning Joe Steckler, or better known as Captain Joe Steckler. I mean, that Navy sweatshirt that he was wearing yesterday kind of indicated that, he's still part of it. You know, his mother was a mermaid, his father was King Neptune. And that's one of those little things that the plebes at the academy have to say. And I'm sure Joe even remembers his reef points even to this day. So a Navy career is kind of a good basis for getting into public service for the rest of your life. And we're really very thankful that Joe is doing what he's doing, because he writes articles, he engages people, he goes to county meetings. I mean, he's just like Ricochet Rabbit, bing bing bing, here I am.
Well, he, at the age of 90, as you just mentioned as well, Jim, still going strong, still puts in a good number of hours each day, helping and working with and for helping seniors of Brevard. And it's something to be admired. And I think many people at the age of 90 would be at home sitting in a rocking chair, but nothing like that for Joe Steckler. With Joe, it's I guess Jim, as you would say in the Navy, or specifically in a submarine, that's what Joe commanded. But it's full speed ahead.
Absolutely, John. Absolutely. And anyway, we wish him very happy birthday. We wish that other people would get very much involved. If you got an issue or a problem, definitely call the Helping Seniors hotline. But you now have a senior resource place to go where there are a whole group of businesses that we know, not just because they pay the rent. They don't. It's not like that. It's a group of businesses that have senior interests in their art, in their quiver. And you can go in there. You can find Vicki Moore, for example, who is Vicki Moore Insurance Solutions. And she's a person that she was on our show here for a good, from October 15th till December 15th. And really right. what we had her on the show every single time, just explaining what all this open enrollment stuff. And, she was a busy little bird during that season. And she went flying around all over the place. She had meetings at the center. She had meetings at your home. And, that's the type of thing that's in there. Also, the gentleman that has the Canadian medicine.
The Canadian drugs, the meds.
Yeah,
good guy, and it's a resource that probably a lot of people are not even aware of. That you can contact him at the resource center. I'm sorry, I don't remember his first name, but still, you can call and they will know what you're talking about there at the resource center.
Absolutely, they've got so many different things here, John. Really, it's just incredible.
And they can just direct you toward him, and that will help a lot if you're interested in getting some better prices for your meds.
Yeah, absolutely, because he's got those good Canadian connections. So anyway, there's so many things in that Senior Resource Center that are available. And those classes that Carrie was talking about that are going to be held on a regular basis, and they are really a very valuable commodity to the senior population. Because, they have things like when do you need that lawyer? Like Bill Johnson was saying how to check them out and everything else. But when do you need that lawyer? Do you need that lawyer when you have a crisis, or do you need that lawyer before you have a crisis? I mean, there are certain things that you can go over, like things of wills and trusts and transfer of real properties, ladybird deeds, things of that nature. And, they have these classes there with these people like Bill Johnson. Or what is it? Amy, what's Amy's last name? It seems to escape me. But
Van Fossen.
Amy Van Fossen, yeah. They have people that are there that are available to you through the Senior Resource Center, and they have these classes constantly. And I just think it's a remarkable resource that we have here in Brevard County, and I believe it's become more of a powerhouse than they already have. And I know that they're looking at getting into a few other areas coming up in 2024, and we wish them very much well. So,
absolutely,
John, it's 55 minutes and coming up on 30 seconds actually into our show, and we really wanted to make sure that we honored Joe Steckler for all the work that he's done. And being 90, and he doesn't look 90. He just keeps on wheeling. I was going to say walking, but Joe's in a wheelchair these days because his legs, they're working on it, but he's got to kind of move around with wheels. But right now
Joe looks great. The age of 90 and still going strong. I'm very impressed.
Me too. Hey, John, we on this show, the last show before Christmas, a couple of things to talk about. Our Christmas show is going to be really a Christmas gift, a gift to our listeners, basically, because there is one of my favorite old-time radio shows that we're going to have with Jack Webb's Dragnet. It's called Little Big Jesus, and it's a classic old radio show. And, John and I are real big fans of old radio and news radio, but mostly old because we're old. But it is a really, really heartwarming story of a little boy who made a promise and he kept it. But the police got involved for another reason. So it's a really kind of good, heartwarming story, and we're going to have that, and that will be one of our gifts to you. And then we look in our Wayback Machine again, and we found a Christmas Carol, but it's Christmas Carol from Richard Diamond, Private Eye. And it's a kind of dramatization of Christmas Carol in a way maybe you haven't heard before. And that's really going to be our show probably for Christmas. And we're going to definitely do what we can to make sure that you have a very Merry Christmas. So
it's a good one, and one of our favorites, and we look forward to sharing that with our audience.
We do indeed. Hey, and the other thing I wanted to mention, we have to mention this every year. Now, we've only got about a day more before they really get into high gear. But if you're going to be trying to track Santa, for the kids or the grandchildren, I'm going to tell you that you can go to noradsanta.org, which is a website, and you can go to that, and you can get all kinds of information. Now, there's nothing up there at the moment, but you can even get an app for your phone. Just go from that website, whether you've got an Android phone or an Apple phone, you can get the app, and you can track it on your cell phone or on your iPad. And the other thing you could do is you can actually call them now at 1-877-HI NORAD, NORAD. And those are the little letters under the numbers on your phone, folks, in case you didn't know that. I haven't translated it myself, but I can usually figure that out. And it's a really kind of an interesting thing when you see kids, their eyes light up and everything else. This is something that the North American radar defense people have done for years and years and years. They started to do it many years ago, and it's just blossomed into what it is today. People on the other end of the phone, and they're sitting there watching Santa all over the world tracking, because he's got a big job. People think that he only works one day a year. Well, I'll tell you, that one day a year is an awful lot of toys and presents to kids all over the world. So